Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Colleen Pearl the Cool Crone, and I will be your astrologer for this video. The Spring Equinox 2023 with the Sun and the Moon in Aries. If you would like to get a personal reading from me, astrological or cards, please visit my website, thecoolcrone.com, and click on Book Now. Or you can always send me an email at coolcrone444@gmail.com. On March 20th, the Sun enters the sign of Aries, and we celebrate the spring equinox in the northern hemisphere and the autumn equinox in the southern hemisphere. The Sun in Aries is something to celebrate, and as this month is chock full of astrological energy, we will definitely be kicking up our heels. On the 21st, the Moon will join the Sun in Aries, and we will have a very exciting new moon. But where are all the planets? Well, Pluto is at the tail end of Capricorn. Pluto has just passed our U.S. natal Pluto, where it has been digging away at our country's infrastructure. Pluto has been exposing corruption, showing us where the structures of all kinds, especially governmental and military, are outdated or obsolete. Once Pluto can successfully remove the idea that something is relevant, it will lend the energy and motivation to transform it or replace it with something new. Neptune is coming to the end of Pisces. Neptune moves slowly and dissolves things as it goes. Not only does Neptune involve itself in religions, but mass beliefs of all kinds will fall under Neptune. For instance, the opioid crisis has been fueled in large part by a mass consciousness wanting to escape pain, both physical and mental. The severe physical ramifications of becoming addicted has led to new industries devoted to curing and healing addiction, managing pain in a safe way, and also the dark side of this misery, supplying drugs for people who are in pain. Neptune also gives inspiration and deep knowledge of spiritual things, helping artists and sensitive souls achieve great heights in their work. Uranus is still in Taurus. Uranus is only halfway through Taurus, and we can see that it is making a huge shift in the food industry. Already, markets are flooded with more plant-based choices than ever. Rather than teaching people to cook in a plant-based way, which frankly already exists in many cultures, we have gravitated to ready-to-eat and quick-to-prepare plant-based products that mimic the taste and feel of meat, making it very easy for people to prepare familiar meals that are much healthier. This is allowing many people to move away from meat-based eating while still obtaining high levels of protein in their meals. Saturn in Pisces. Saturn's move into Pisces was covered in depth in my March video, which I will link at the end of this one. Saturn was in the sign of its rulership for nearly 6 years, Saturn being the ruler of Capricorn and the classical ruler of Aquarius. Saturn has finally moved out of Aquarius, where structures caused us to be hemmed in by the government. Finally, we will be seeing how Saturn's structure can be applied in more liberal ways. Because Pisces is a mutable sign that ignores boundaries and the rules of normal society. Saturn is all about boundaries, so we will need to figure out how to work with this energy. Most individuals will find that going within, listening to our higher selves, will work well during this 2.5-year stint of Saturn in Pisces. The last time Saturn was in Pisces was between May 1993 and April 1996. So take a trip down memory lane and see where you were at that time. Most likely you will have those areas of life functioning under Saturn once again. Jupiter in Aries. Well, Aries energy meets the boundless enthusiasm of Jupiter. What could go wrong? Well, the childlike Aries enthusiasm doesn't really need Jupiter to get out of control. So we find that many things become just too much of a good thing. Or we find that tempers and aggression are out of control and cause problems that could have been avoided. There is a party for anything and everything, and there is also a lawsuit for anything and everything, because Jupiter also rules the courts. Vindicating the underdog has become a theme. We've already seen TV shows, movies, podcasts, shorts, YouTube channels created just for this reason, and all are colored with a huge dose of Jupiterian enthusiasm and so-called wisdom. Fortunately, Jupiter only stays in a sign for 12 months, and he has already been in Aries for a while, so we will see Jupiter moving on to Taurus in May of this year. Sun in Aries. The ruler of Aries is the planet Mars. Mars gives us energy, good health, confidence, the ability to lead. Aries people are happy, positive, decisive, and courageous. They may lack patience, but they make up for it with buckets of loyalty to those they call friends. Aries is a fire sign, and that causes them to be impulsive with a quick temper. On the plus side, that temper is also quickly cooled because, like the flame on a match, it goes out as quickly as it lights. Aries is the person who sort of falls in love with each new friend and puts that person up on a pedestal. It's a big ask to stay on top of that pedestal because Aries tends to see things in black and white, at least at first. So if you do something they don't like or don't consider fair or just, they just push you off that pedestal pretty quickly. This leaves them very, very disappointed, and this may be the reason that certain Aries find relationships so hard. They get disappointed in others easily because they build them up so high. However, like most humans, Aries can mature and learn that humans are fallible, thereby losing some of their judgments. They can even forgive, although not everybody and not very frequently. So give them the benefit of the doubt and perhaps they will come around. As I said, Aries are impulsive, and young Aries throw themselves headlong into each bright new shiny idea that catches their eye, or in this case their mind. It's difficult to watch them as they leap into each new project because we know they most likely will not follow through. However, this is how Aries learns, by experience. It's hard to convince them not to do a thing. It's much better for them to learn themselves. So, bide your time. In a few years, they'll have enough experience under their belt that they can tolerate the foibles of the rest of us. And now on to the new moon in Aries. The sun will enter Aries at 5:24 p.m. Eastern Time on March 20th, and the very next day we have a new moon in Aries at 1:23 p.m. Oh my gosh, this is a lot of fire energy. Sun moving into Aries is so joyful, so childlike and playful, but also lusty and happy. Aries is the time when the new plants have already pushed through the soil and baby birds and baby everythings are all over the place. We begin to see what has been happening all those winter months when everything was tucked away, either in houses, burrows, or under the ground. I know I always feel released and boundless when the sun moves into Aries, no matter what I've been doing during the winter. Having the new moon come into Aries so quickly after the ingress of the sun gives the energy a powerful push. Both lunar and solar energy are moving towards this boundless, fertile energy, and everyone just feels like jumping in the air. With the new moon in Aries, we feel strong, we're in command of our emotions and our ego. We need to express these things together in a commanding way, in our own way. At the same time, we can feel that change is in the air, and that which was true yesterday is not true today. Having a new moon in the first sign at the 0-degree mark is rather unusual. Usually, we miss the 0-degree mark. So embrace this new moon, do all the new moon things that you know to do, but since it is in Aries, you will find that you do them with great enthusiasm. This will be a wonderful time to begin something new. Open a new business, start a new relationship or a new job, start a new project. Just anything that requires clearing the decks and making a fresh start. So go for it. The stars are with you. Now let's look at the aspects to this new moon in Aries. Now we're going to speak about the aspects to the new moon. Now, the new moon itself is a conjunction between the sun and the moon. They're in pretty much the same degree, and so you don't see this light of the sun reflecting off of the moon, and we call it new or dark moon. But the way the aspects work, let me just show you something. Because the sun and the moon are right together, they're going to be making aspects to the same planets all over the place. Here's Neptune, Neptune, Mars, Mars, Pluto, Pluto, etc. So rather than going through the sun does this and then the moon does that, I've combined them all so that you can see what the cumulative effect is of the sun and the moon squaring Mars and conjuncting Neptune, etc. So let's move on to the first aspect that we have, which is the sun and the moon square Mars. If you have cardinal planets at 0 to 7 degrees or mutable planets at 23 to 29 degrees, you're going to feel this new moon the strongest. Those of you who have planets in the cardinal signs in late degrees, 28 to 29 degrees, or fixed signs, 0 to 4 degrees, may also be feeling the Venus square Pluto aspects, which we will discuss in a minute. On the full moon in Virgo, we had the sun trining Mars, which was very harmonious. Now it comes to the square. You will feel strong, but there will also be a great deal of tension and indecision. All that strength and stamina has to go somewhere, and it may inadvertently be directed at your family. So watch yourself. If you know you're prone to that kind of energy, just hold yourself in check. Bosses will get bossier, and you probably do not want to stand up to them at this moment. Sun and moon conjunct Neptune. Now, this conjunction brings intuition, fantasy, empathy, and self-sacrifice to the forefront. People will not behave in a very practical manner. We tend to withdraw and dwell in our minds, watching fantasies play out in our heads. Imagination, intuition, spirituality, and a sense of harmony will flow around us and may keep us sort of floating for a few days. With all this lack of order and structure, we find that we become translators of the universe. If this sounds familiar, it's because we had the same aspect during the full moon. Sun and the moon sextile Pluto. This transit allows one to manipulate others, which is a no-no. Intensely polite and well-mannered, you may be very charming as well. You may also be very secretive right now. Use this intensity to pursue research or something that requires you to investigate something. Having the moon also sextile Pluto triples this intensity. This new moon energy may hit you with super high emotions, and you may express yourself in another way that seems too big or inappropriate. Even though you will have incredible powers of persuasion, resist the urge to try to change your loved one, as this will cause conflicts and quarrels. Express yourself, but also temper yourself, because you just may be too big for the room today. Venus squaring Pluto. This aspect manifests itself in a very typical way. You may feel both love and hate with all your heart, deeply and intensely. You hide your true passion and you have great fantasies. This transit encourages competitive urges that cause you to try to prove yourself, but also activates sexuality and sex appeal. While you're at it, you may experience strong jealousy and possibly paranoia. Mars trine Saturn. You may be able to work without getting tired, being very careful, consistent, and entrepreneurial. Organizational skills will be high. You seek stability and security and do not like to take risks at this time. Challenges and obstacles seem like nothing right now. Mars square Neptune. Your interest in mysticism or some other unusual study will draw you now. Using your imagination and fantasy will be preferred over reality. No practical approach for you. Your need to get things done will cause you to barrel through several projects, while your expectations are unrealistic. Keep the non-realism for your imagination and dream world. Realize that to accomplish something, you need to apply yourself. Maybe wait until this transit has passed. This new moon will bring all of us into spring, which makes everyone feel that bunnies are cute and they want to adopt a baby duck. Please don't do that. It's incredibly cruel unless you live near a lake. The major energy here is beginnings, that you will be able to start something new and that you feel the world is starting anew. In a way it is. Saturn has moved into Pisces, and we are just days away from Pluto moving into Aquarius, where we hope he will clean up the corruption and mass hysteria we've been living through for the last 20 years. But other planets are tempering this Aries moon. There are two other planets accompanying the sun and moon, Neptune and Mercury. The combo of Neptune and Mercury means there will be a lot of psychic energy, so that Neptunian things such as gas, oil, liquids, the ocean may be talked about in the news. Also, Saturn is hitting an eclipse point on the new moon, indicating to me that we may hear about someone receiving a very restrictive sentence for a criminal charge, or perhaps we may even hear about the passing of an important world leader. Mars is also squaring the Sun, Moon, Neptune, Mercury combo, which means there may be news coming to light about a military event such as the war in Ukraine. There could be a sudden shift in dynamics between Russia and Ukraine. No doubt we will also hear a fantastical analysis of the Dominion lawsuit by those who want to believe that Fox News can prevail somehow. I think the best part of this new moon is the involvement of Pluto. Joe Biden's Sun and Venus trine this new moon in Aries and also sextile Pluto. This means that he can carry out more covert exercises in the name of helping Ukraine and our Congress to pass more legislation to help our country. It's very positive for Joe, and personally, I'm rooting for him to have more wins. So thank you so much for watching. We're on our way to 2,000 subscribers, and I can't wait to get there. When I do, I'll be giving away some free readings. Thank you so much for your support for Polytarology. That's just a hoot. I love doing those shows. And I'm sorry I haven't been able to get the ET or Angel Pick-a-Cards out this month, but I've had some serious issues with my studio and PC. So once I get all of those worked out, we'll get back on track. Thank you so much for being a subscriber, and if you're not subscribed, please think about doing so now. Take care, have a wonderful March, and I'll see you in April.